If you want your channel to grow, you got to engage. You got to engage two different ways. The first way you got to engage is like this. What's your niche? Know a bunch of different categories or keywords that you can search your niche on. The first one is selling on Amazon. Obviously, people want to know how to sell on Amazon. Now, I could put Amazon private label, but that's a lot more specific, and often private label is not understood by people who are not in this business. I could put entrepreneurship. I could put entrepreneur Amazon. But really, the most powerful one for me is selling on Amazon. Selling on Amazon. People who are not in Amazon want to know how to sell on Amazon. So let's do a search on how to sell on Amazon. So first thing that's going to come up is obviously the top videos that rank for selling on Amazon. YouTube is going to put the best up, the most current up, the most engaged up, and that's the videos that are going to come up on Amazon. So now the first people you want to engage with, that you want to empower, are influencers. Influencers in your niche are going to help lift you up to their level. So it's the power of association. If you guys are bookworms, definitely hit me up with books in the comment section below, because I love a good book. The Power of Influence is always a book that I love. Influencers are now coming to the surface, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter. Influencers are now have their place in society that is just as important as celebrities, politicians, pro athletes. An influencer who is an amazing, pet trainer, an influencer who is an amazing windsurfer, an influencer who is an amazing basketball dribbler, has its platform to not only demonstrate what their talent is, but to be important to other people. So being that I'm an Amazon seller, my influencers are all on YouTube. They're all on Instagram. They all have thousands and thousands of subscribers. So I want to engage with those influencers. I want them to know who I am. First thing we want to do is engage with them on a daily basis. Daily. Gary Vee said it best. Is not what you do when you're in your 9 to 5. It's what you do in your 5 to 9. So now, is he talking 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.? No, he's talking 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. So it's the time that you spend after if you have a job and you're working, it's the time you spend after that building your brand, building your business. Gary Vee talks about Instagram being the most powerful tool in social media this day and age. Instagram is huge for influencers, and Gary Vee talks about influencers are the new currency. So you got to be able to get involved with other influencers, and right now, influencers in my niche want to engage. They want to engage with their customer. They want to reach out. They know how powerful that personal touch is back to someone who's reached out to them. They know how powerful it is. So, whereas, have you ever tried reaching out to a celebrity or a pro athlete? If you have, you know how powerful it is when that person reaches back to you. I'll give you a story. I named my son. My son's name is Cedric, and he's 17 now, and he's just started his Amazon business. But it's my first boy, so obviously an important part of my life is my first son. My daughter is a combination of my name, Chris, and my wife's name, Karen. We call her Karis. So a little different, but my son was named after a pro athlete. My favorite pro athlete growing up in the NBA was a guy by the name of Cedric Ceballos. Cedric Ceballos played for the Lakers. He won the slam dunk champion, kind of in my area in 1992. And so I've always loved him. I have these little bobblehead figurines of him. And he's not a Kobe or a Michael Jordan or anything like that, but I love the name Cedric. I love the player. I love this style. I love this slam dunk contest. It's kind of when I got into basketball, really. And that name stuck with me until I was ready to have children. I had a child. I named him after Cedric Ceballos. Then years later comes a tool called Twitter. And Twitter had been around for a few years, and I was following different people on Twitter, and it just, for whatever reason, popped in my mind, let's see if ℂ𝕙𝕤𝕚𝕚 is on Twitter. Turns out ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕚 is on Twitter. ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕚 is a broadcaster, possibly for the Lakers or one of these networks. He's either a color guy or a broadcaster or a radio guy for one of the teams that he used to play, whether it's Memphis or the Lakers or one of them that he used to play for. He's a color guy or a broadcaster for them. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna send him a message. I'm just gonna say, hey Cedric, how's it going? Just want to give you a heads up. I named my son after you. And I don't know how many other people have named their kid after ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕚. A lot of people have a child with the name Cedric, but maybe not ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕚. But if he does, just like Michael Jordan, millions have named their kids after Jordan. And my brother named his son after Jordan. I named my son after a different basketball player. And lo and behold, ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕚 reached back out to me, coachchrispect, and said, that is amazing. Wow. Thank you for naming your kid after me. Holy cow. And I was like in awe that somebody I named my kid after reached out to me and engaged with me. And I'll never forget it. And it justified how amazing this guy is to me and kind of spirited me up for it. I literally, honestly printed that tweet out and I put it in a frame and it hangs in my son's room. So, back to the whole influencers engaging with their audience. These guys want to do it. So now is the time to reach out and build a relationship. And you can't build a relationship with these guys by commenting on their posts once. You have to engage. So this has to be a journey. It has to be 6 months, a year. It has to really be a long-term relationship. How many influencers are there? You're probably going to find 100. So if you can associate yourself with 100 of the top in your industry, and you can engage with them enough that they know who you are, chances are you're going to rise to their level. So the first thing you want to do is you want to engage with the influencers in your industry. And you want to engage with them on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. You don't want to stalk them. You just want to engage with them. You want to watch their content. You want to check out their stuff, heart their Instagram photos, like their stuff on Twitter, retweet, engage with them. Comment on their videos on YouTube, comment on their stuff and nothing strange. Just keep it simple.